Hi, Jeffrey Baffle here, Humble Bumble Chess Services, another chess video. My hair is mussy, my face is ugly, but the game is beautiful. We talk about chess, we love chess, we play chess. And if you are a competitive chess player, perhaps at some point in your life you've come upon or created for yourself a structured chess training program, just like you might have a training program for anything else, for golf, for tennis, for anything. What about an unstructured chess training program? And by unstructured, I mean basically you assemble a large group of chess materials and then you dive into them on an unstructured, more or less random way. What are the advantages of that? The advantages of that is it keeps it fresh, it keeps things moving, you never feel bored or trapped. Now, what I'm about to show you is my unstructured chess training program. It has about 40 chess books in it. Now, I'm using actual printed books, but I also use online electronic sources as part of my training. There's no problem in including that, but for the purposes of this video, it's just printed books that I'm using. Thanks for your attention. What I'm going to do is talk about each book for about 20 seconds. My comments are totally spontaneous and unstructured. So if I'm looking down or looking at a timer to make sure I'm moving along properly, please cut me a break on that one. So here we go. Starting off with Like to Play and Win. This is a book from the 1940s. About a system of study and a system of move selection. Very good. Weaver Adams, strong player, highly recommended. Find it on eBay. This is Life and Game of Mikhail Tal. Tal was a world champion, incredibly aggressive and creative player. This is a fascinating look at both his games and his life. Highly recommended. This is Chess Informant, Top 12 Plus 1. It's no longer published. You can find it on eBay. Basically, it took the top 12 players plus Judith Polgar. They wanted to include her she was a sensation because as a female, she was the first female to ever come anywhere close to the top 15 of men, mostly men, all men players. A selection of games noted in a languageless system. It exposes you to a lot of different styles of top players. Highly recommended. Mastering the Chess Openings by John Watson. John Watson, highly respected chess writer. He covers the topic of chess openings. Why are there so many chess opening books? Why is there so much material and study devoted to openings when experts will tell you that openings are not the most important part of the game? He covers that topic and talks about a sensible way to approach the chess openings. Highly recommended. How to Reassess Your Chess, 4th edition by Jeremey Silman. Jeremey Silman, a highly respected writer. This is his magnum opus on chess training. It is a very deep, meaty, weighty volume, which I highly recommend you go through with a highlighter. Type out your comments or write your comments on topics that are interesting to you or that puzzle you. This is a foundational work for chess training. Highly recommended. Tactics in the Chess Openings by New in Chess. This takes basically a major group of openings like the French Defense Open Game, Caro-Kann, etc., and looks at not at theoretical lines, what's the hottest line, but what is the typical traps, tactics, and things that you need to watch out within that opening. So like I said, it's not a theoretical source, but it's something that trains you to look for tactics that are typical within a certain group of openings. A lot of it's based on pawn structures, so highly recommended. Positional Chess Handbook. Basically, this is a book where a person has taken a position from a game and broken down the strategic and positional elements to it and put it out in very clear language. I really like this book. Bobby Fischer's My 60 Memorable Games. There are later copies of this in algebraic notations. This is a very old 1970s era copy in descriptive notations. Bobby Fischer, one of the greatest chess players ever. His notes are lucid, concise, Larry Evans contributed a very good synopsis of each game. This is one of the books that people talk about when they say, if I was on a desert island, I'd have this book if I could only have one book. Definitely recommended. Secrets of Modern Chess Opening Strategy. Basically, the premise for this book, and this is another book by John Watson, highly respected teacher. The premise for this book is that nobody has really wanted to do a systematic look at chess strategy since Nimzowitsch, or I shouldn't say nobody has done it, but very little has been done on this. And Watson's thesis was that, hey, it's been 80, 90 years, almost 100 years since the great Nimzowitsch put down his things about chess strategy, and there must have been advances in that time, and his idea is to codify the advances that have been done since then. Quickest chess victories of all time. This is a massive collection of about, I'm going to say it's about 1,000 games. The games are all very short, about 20 moves or less. This helps you to understand what traps and landmines might be lurking in a opening that you play. And these are going to be, because these are based on mistakes, a lot of these are not going to be shown in an opening book. So go through this. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. My System and the computer enhancements from Taylor Kingston. My System is that book I mentioned earlier. Aron Nimzowitsch, a great player and thinker about chess, attempted to codify a lot of important concepts. This is a foundational work. Get it. 2 books by Joel Johnson, who basically takes all types of games and finds a lesson within that game. He has games from grandmasters, but also from amateur players. The games are not deeply annotated, but they're very helpfully annotated. So masses of games from all different levels of players, very useful. Paul Benko and Mikhail Chigorin, 2 biographies packed with analysis, articles, and games from these 2 players. These were 2 world-class players from very different eras. This is the 1800s. This is the 50s, 60s, and 70s. These are 2 biographies that are just the standard on what an excellent chess biography should be. Get these books. Chess by Lazlo Polgar. This is the foundational training work. It is comprised of mating 1, 2s, and 3s, typical endgames, plus instructive games. It is about 1,100 pages of chess material. It's what he used to train his 3 daughters to become grandmasters. There's got to be something in that training method of 3 kids all became grandmasters, based in large part of the material in this book. Get it. Understanding Chess Move by Move. John Nunn, a grandmaster, very strong player, and an incredible teacher. He takes you through literally every move of the game and comments on it. The analysis in terms of alternate moves is kept a little bit light. It does go in depth sometimes, but most of this is verbal explanations on each and every move of about 40 or 50 games, high-level games. It is incredibly instructive. Get it. 200 Open Games by David Bronstein. Bronstein was a world championship level player. His comments are pithy. He sets up the game and then goes through it quickly. It's not a lot of super deep notes and annotations, but it's 200 Open Games with typical themes and traps. Very good. Diamond Dust. This is the 60th anniversary of the Canadian Correspondence Chess League, and it put together about 12 players, and they noted their games, very deeply noted, opening lines you won't find anywhere else, incredibly instructive comments by correspondence players who look very deeply into their games, a lot deeper than the over-the-board players can do. Very good. Weaver Adams, White to Play and Win. He codified a system of choosing a move in a game which he believed unlocked the secrets to always picking a good move. Does White have a win from the initial position? Read the book and find out. The opening line in it is the Bishop's opening and the Vienna Game or Gambit. It's a very instructive, an older book, about 70 or 80 years old, but it's still got a lot of good ideas in it. You can find it on eBay. This is the Chess Informant from back in the early 2000s. They've changed this book series a lot. It's a mass of games, end games, combinations, mostly languageless annotations with symbols and codes, but it's masses of games from very high level players with deep notes. Get it. Fundamental Chess Openings. This is one of the few comprehensive endgame books that have been done recently. It makes openings very easy to understand. I didn't say easy to master, but I highly recommend this book. I don't even like endings very much, and I love this book. Forcing Chess Moves, a huge mass of tactical problems. The author has a system of finding moves. I don't think it's that useful, but you see what you think. But the games and the analysis in here are incredible, very interesting, very deep tactical positions. Can't help but improve your game. Chess Life Yearbook. This is a bound copy of 12 months of Chess Life magazine from 1962. You can find these on eBay. They're the way to go. They keep the magazine protected. You get all the pages of the magazine, including the covers as they were. Games, articles, problems, end games. It's really cool. It's a whole year of chess bound into a nice hardcover copy. Get it. Move First, Think Later. A revolutionary challenge to the establishment way of teaching chess and how to improve your chess games. It's going to take a lot of concepts that people, and especially elite level trainers, will put out today. This has started somewhat of a feud with some of the top level trainers who feel personally insulted by some of the things that this guy is saying. It's incredible. It's fascinating. The chess content is worth it, even if he didn't say a word about what was going on there. The chess in this book is incredible, and it has revolutionary concepts for thinking about and improving in chess. Get it. The Art of Attack. This is from the 60s or 70s, a classic book that I read probably 30 years ago, and I'm just now going through it again. It has some analytical errors that the computers have found recently, but incredible concepts on what it means to launch an attack, mainly about attacking the king. This is a foundational book. It is going to spice up your game and really it's going to transform you as a player. Get it. Alexander Alekhine's chess games. This is 2,800 games, every available game that the authors could find. It's a massive hardcover book, and it's expensive, but it's got, like I said, 2,000, 3,000 games from one of the greatest players, a world champion. The notes are there. The settings for the tournaments and matches are there. Unbelievable. One of my favorite books. Anthology of Chess Combinations. There's a later edition, a 5th edition out. This is the 4th edition. It's got just a humongous mass of tactical problems that are broken down by category. It is an incredible training resource. It's a textbook on how to study combinations and how to get that concept into your brain. It's languageless to the greatest extent, but that does not cause a problem. This is an incredible book. Sharpen Your Chess Tactics, another mass of chess tactics with very cool, there's not a lot of explanation in it, but these tactics are very valuable, and repetition is important when you're learning tactics. I love this book. Get it. Your Best Chess Move. This is a multiple choice book on how to pick a move in a given situation. Again, repetition is key to learning these concepts. Get this book. Chess Gems. This is like a greatest hits of problems, games, and commentary on chess. There's some extreme stuff in here, some weird stuff that's kind of you won't see. Doesn't have a lot of practical value, but there also is a lot of practical value in amazing end games and tactics and things that happen in chess. Like I said, it's like a greatest hits of chess theory. So very highly recommended. Imagination in Chess. This tells you how to break out of the strictures of being a rule-bound person. And, as they say, that cliche, thinking outside the box, this book attempts to answer that question of how do you think outside the box. Training for the tournament player. This is, if you're a serious chess player and you go to competitions, this is a structured program on how to be a better player. So yeah, definitely worth the time. And then last but not least, the Oxford Encyclopedia of Chess. Literally every master game that was published or could be found before 1892 or something like that. 4,000 plus games, incredible. Go through it and go through them quickly. It's a mass of games. It'll help you. All right, that's it. Unscripted and totally spontaneous comments. I hope they helped. Thanks for tuning in.